As the broken Haradrim Knight, Lorith Na heads off to pursue the Pale Man, we have been tasked with enlisting the aid of the Cathedral of Light here in the city. Strange bedfellows for a necromancer, yet surely with Inarius' hate for Lilith, our enemy's enemy may prove yet to be an unexpected ally, as paranoia grips the locals we overhear.
I tell you, my neighbor is bewitched. I saw him skulking outside my door, muttering curses.
Right. This wouldn't have anything to do with the money you owe him, would it?
Trudging north, we find a throng of people admiring a large statue of Inarius, spear pointed to the heavens, which we only take in its full breadth while circling the stone rendition. Then we find a local priest delivering a sermon to all those who would listen.
For 100 generations, hell itself imprisoned Father Inarius, but they could not break him. He cast off his infernal shackles and returned to us. And now, he will guide the faithful along the path of deliverance.
I guess we shall soon find out if the angel is worth our praise or contempt. Continuing higher up the steps, we see a crowd gathered around the symbol of the church, with an ominous crimson teardrop-shaped gem in the center. To the left of the stairs, we find a woman praying to a makeshift shrine who beseeches.
Father Inarius, bless the child that grows in my belly. Keep him safe in your light.
Below her, a man named Omitri, who gives thanks.
Oh, glorious Father, thank you! Your light has cleansed the disease from my flesh. I am made whole in your radiance.
Similarly, children huddled for warmth in the southeastern corner spread Inarius' legend further.
My brother told me you have to shield your eyes in the Father's presence, or his light will make you blind. That's why the knights wear helmets.
So, Inarius performs miracles. But at what price? Entering the double doors of the church, we interrupt mid-sermon.
We were born in sin, children of darkness. But the Father's light can be sought through penitence and faith. Walk in the light.
And a surprise to see our one-time ally, Eosif. Prava, seeing us, continues.
We must be ever vigilant against sin, brother.
Yes, Reverend Mother.
Let the light of Inarius burn away wickedness. Let not temptation lead you from his holy radiance. Let righteousness sear away corruption and sin. Cast out thy darkness, for only light must remain.
Cast out thine darkness, for only light must remain.
Is this the one from the west?
Yes, Reverend Mother. Did Lorath not accompany you?
He sent me on without him.
Putting faith in that old man was a mistake. What could possibly be of greater import?
Lilith.
So, you know. We have received word from one of our knights of a demon sighting in Gale Valley. The description matches too closely to the sighting in Nevesk. If you would travel to Yelesna and take stock of the events there, you would have the gratitude of the Cathedral of Light. I had thought to send Lorath, but...
Again, he fails in his duty.
with or without Lorath, the will of Inarius shall be done. Here, take the knight's report before you go.
We gather, draped over the altar, an ornate scroll which reads,
Reverend Mother, I received a report of a potential demon sighting. Horned woman near Yelesna Mines. Performed routine inspection, nothing yet. Sent in priest and escort of knights. We'll report in when we find something.
Pocketing this information, we then ask Brava, you know Lorith?
His skill is unmatched. But as you can see, He's not so reliable.
It's not out of indifference. He went off searching for a pale man who accompanied Lilith.
So someone is helping her. How easily the souls of men sink to darkness.
What do you know of Lilith?
She is spawn of a prime evil. Mark my words, Nevesk was but the beginning. She will kill again. But our father, the angel Inarius, is prophesied to defeat her. Where there is faith, there need not be fear.
What happened in Yelesna?
One of our flock, the watch commander, Vigo, sent word of a demon sighting. A girl claimed to see a horned woman. The risk is too great to dismiss. Seek him out. He should be well into his search.
And so we leave the church on Lilith's trail, down the rabbit hole with a new ally in Inarius' many zealots. Hopefully this watch commander, Vigo, or the girl that supposedly sighted Lilith have the answers we seek before the demoness tears up the rest of the countryside. Leaving the frozen streets of Kyovashad behind, we overhear some of the locals discuss the church.
Say, where are those girls of yours? Finally ran off to play knight, have they?
They left for Corvalar this morning. They'll have food, training, more than I can give them.
It seems there is a common theme here. We can't help but wonder how much of his army is comprised of the faithful versus the malnourished. Exiting the city via the southeast, it's evident the ostentatious facade is solely in the western quarter, as we step gingerly over the questionable bridge and into a pack of hungry orcs. Marauders too lie in ambush, perhaps working in collusion with the wolves for those unlucky enough to leave the relative safety of the city. Heading east, we enter the lowlands and are immediately set upon by a new group of enemies as a horde of ghouls run us down. Contending with the first pack, a second descend upon us. Overwhelmed by their sheer volume, we race towards the bastion of Yelesna, the light of the beacons sending the ghouls scampering away, momentarily safe.
Not while I'm in town.
We head inside the town and see a local priestess, flanked by knights, who, seeing our plight, solemnly preaches.
Darkness encroaches on the light. Dull swords must be sharpened and armor polished.
The town is in a state markedly worse than Kyovashad, and we decide to speak to the nearest local, a woman named Marietta, hunched over a barrel.
It's a hard life here, but with the dangers and the mines. But if I'm lucky, could make it 5 more years without sight of injury or death.
Nearby, we hear the unmistakable rowdy banter of a local watering hole and enter the tavern known as the Hog's Head. By the fire, a knight, Gastev, muses.
Look, I didn't ask for this post, but as long as I'm here, I may as well make some money. Don't worry, I'll tithe.
No harm, no foul, eh? Congruently, we see a local gambling game being played by a group in the middle of the room who shoo.
Leave me alone. I'm off duty. Just trying to have a little fun, for once.
We then see a gaggle of men in various states of stupor by beer barrels, and their server jests.
Wait your turn, you drunkards! There's plenty to go around!
It's true what they say. Idle hands make the devil's work. But what has the knight so displaced? We then turn to the local innkeeper, Tassiana, for answers. Why are the mines closed?
Story changes depending on who you talk to. Some say demons, others say werewolves. Don't really matter, all means the same thing. Closed minds and idle hands.
Our thoughts exactly. How is Yelesna surviving?
The cathedral mostly. Most people don't want to admit it. Too proud. Don't want them here, but can't survive if they leave.
You seem to be doing well.
Probably better than it should. Hard times make people want to feel something. A little drink, a little gambling. Better than being scared all the time, eh?
What a sad state of affairs. We need to locate whoever is in charge to find answers, and the Captain Vigo. We then ask a local guard just outside, and realize she's barely able to stay on her feet.
Ain't had nothing but vegetable stew for weeks now. I'd bet a month's wages for a scrap of meat.
We feel bad for the nearby loitering chickens. In the center of town, we come across a welcome waypoint, and to the west, a nearby knight, Fabian, who shivers.
This damn cold chills me to my bones. Can't wait to get out of here.
And to his right, a guard, Svitla.
The knights are willing to teach us a few tricks, which have come in handy.
Heading up the stairs, we see an office of import, but pause, witnessing the hanging of a bloody corpse stripped down, being gawked at by a local Grisella.
I remember when there was a hanging only once in a while. Now, they happen every week.
And just to the north, more corpses, but this time, hated vampires. These rotting, stinking corpses of the undead are a grim reminder of the dangers outside the city. A scared populace is a controlled one, but we fear their apprehension is wholly justified. Turning to a smithy hammering a spiky door named Denisov, he ponders aloud.
Been working on this door for days. Not much else to do around here. Even less to sell. Should fetch a nice price.
Seeing all we need to know of the locals and their plight, we head to the Western Garrison building, pausing only to pat a poor mangy dog.
Hello.
A bit too friendly when meat is so scarce. Inside the office, we spot the local magistrate, looking cast aside with the guard captain at his desk.
Can't you see I'm busy? Yes, the knights are not preferred, but they serve a purpose. One this town desperately needs.
We then seek the real power in town, Captain Anchors, who scant looks up from his paperwork and questions.
Prava sent me. I'm looking for Vigo.
You and that nuisance of a child both. Girl's been nagging us about that demon woman all week. Vigo's gone, looking into her claims. He should be at the mining camp north of here. Whole escort of knights went missing there last week, along with the girl's mother and another woman. Watch yourself out there.
Sounds like this girl may have spotted Lilith after all. A whole escort of knights disappearing is troubling, to say the least. We then head east through the town's muddy thoroughfare, and a pained guard, Mironov, complains.
This blister is killing me. I need new boots.
Undersupplied and underfed, we shudder at the damage a demon could do to this weary rabble.
Hope the fish are biting today.
Heading northeast through the murky Zeleny lowlands, we're again swarmed by the ghouls, hungrily awaiting stragglers by the village gates. Sensing the entire countryside is waiting for us to stumble in the muddy terrain so they can take a wet bite out of our flesh, we make a dead run for the mining camp, fatigue setting in and our enemies blessed with unnatural stamina keeping pace. It's only as we see the dim lights of the Pine Hills mining camp, still guarded, do we breathe a sigh of relief as our assailants think better of a full frontal assault and peel back into the woods to await the next victim for their ever-growing army of the undead.
More strangers in the camp.
Once inside the camp, we see we're not entirely welcome. Heading northeast, we find blocking the mine's entrance a Church of Light officer, hand on sword hilt and looking worse for wear. We then realize we've found Vigo and ask,
Are you Vigo? I was sent...
Hey! I know what I saw. She had horns like a beast. Strode right past where you stand. To think my mother's trapped in there with her.
You let my mother through, sir. Shouldn't you be responsible for her safety?
We have soldiers stationed inside.
You should be worried about them, too. Maybe you can help me.
Young Nayrel then approaches us to aid with her mother, and we know, in all likelihood, we're probably too late.